Hey Matt, interesting post. Thanks. Wanted to address a couple issues. One thing is when you mentioned science as a mythology or a narrative or a story, it is perceived as that by some, but I would definitely like to argue that science is not mythological at all, um, unless you think that myth is objectively verifiable. Uh, there are gaps in science, plenty of them as we can see, but science doesn't fill those in with myth. Um, Philosophers do, theologians do, mystics fill that in with fill those gaps in with myth and meaning. Science itself, in its purest form, doesn't claim to present any meaning. That's left open to the individual's interpretation. On individual interpretations, you seem to bring up a lot about sociological or social ideological concepts evolving over time on a global scale. But I would like to suggest that um, topics like these are more often than not personal journeys, and I think it's more meaningful to think of these types of investigations as personal investigations, which really are relevant only to ourselves. You could take that for what it's worth. What else was I going to address? Oh yeah, one of the main thrusts of your video was that things have gotten worse as aided by the development of science and technology. And I just want you to consider that things may indeed have gotten worse in a certain locale because of science and technology and the division of wealth and lack of resources, control of resources, politics, so forth. But that globally, on a grand scale, either things have gotten better or things may have neither gotten better nor gotten worse. But to throw out a judgment call like that is very dangerous, not only because it's a judgment or value statement, but it also has to apply to scale. You have to consider scale, and you have to consider that maybe on average things have not gotten worse, but locally, and you can set the boundaries however you like with regards to what local means. Locally, of course, things have gotten worse in certain areas, but things have gotten better in others. Overall, what has happened, what is happening, is our planet, what is the goal, what's the purpose, what does it mean to get better and to get worse? Ensuring the survival of our species, our Mother Earth, is it being threatened? It looks, for instance, global warming and environmental issues of all sorts, agricultural and marine issues, contaminants from chemicals that have been used in cleaners and solvents that have propagated. It seems that we are creating sort of a mess. Can it be cleaned up? I have high confidence that it can, that the energy and resources are still widely available on a global scale, even though locally they might seem to be lacking. And as communication means improve, and we're able to move resources from one place to another, and energy from one place to another quickly and efficiently, we will see improvements, and we will see solutions to the problems that science has caused, or technology, or really humans in relation to technology and their irresponsible use of it. But now the ultimate question is there more irresponsible use of technology or more responsible use of technology? And I would like to purport that there is more responsible use of technology. The irresponsible use can cause a lot of disruption and pollution and pain and anguish. But I think that we're resourceful enough as a race to prevent irresponsible use of technology from running rampant to the point where it endangers the human species. I'm being hopeful there, of course. I'd like to point out that a lot of scientific thinkers, such as Carl Sagan and the physicist Richard Feynman, when in their books and their writings, they're optimistic. They're cautiously optimistic about the future of the human race, and they always qualify the improvement of the human race with the provision or the disclaimer that if we don't destroy ourselves first. So, yeah, if we don't destroy ourselves first, we have a bright future ahead of us. I think I heard something about a doomsday clock that Stephen Hawking's advanced the time on the doomsday clock, which is an indication of how dangerous or how volatile the global culture, the global climate is, and how likely, how close we are to experiencing what would qualify as a doomsday. But the clock isn't always, or rather, the clock isn't quite there yet, and it can always be moved. The hand of the clock can always be moved back in time. Fortunately, that's one clock that can be reversed. So I'm going to be optimistic and say we're going to reverse that doomsday clock.